Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Malibu or wherever you are, and Rob was in California, so I got to do a little Lobo talk. It's a fun show. JJ, I had not been all the way out. Well, I say all the way out. I had not been to Salt Yard West. It's a great spot.
It's a fun time. It's a good night.
Yeah, no, it was a good time out there, and Alec Marenko joined us. All right, here's your guest list today. Coming up at 8 o'clock this morning, we'll talk Lobo football with their tight end Trace Bruckler. He's going to be with us. And then at 8:30 this morning, really excited to talk to Jerry Palm this week. I want to talk to him about a number of things. I want basically everybody west of the Mississippi is probably asking the question we asked yesterday. Why is Washington, who's got a win over Oregon, who's got wins through the Pac-12, not ranked higher than Florida State, whose best win is a 3-loss LSU by one possession? Why? Is they're looking forward to talking about that and get his thoughts on the Michigan situation. So that's coming up at 8:30. Hey, I want to start with the Michigan deal. And I know we didn't really hit it yesterday, but Michigan's kind of hitting back, okay? And I'm going to take a little different angle a little bit. And I say this because every sport scouts, right? JJ, you and I, when we go to those tournaments, when you and I sit at those tournaments every year, there's a table in the corner, right, for the coaches to scout tomorrow's opponents, right?
Yeah. Do you see coaches at basketball games?
Okay, baseball. Every game you go to, you see scouts behind home plate with their guns. How fast is a pitcher throwing the ball? Right, they're not real guns. They're jugs guns. They're right, the speed guns on the judging how fast the pitch is thrown. Their clipboards, their notes. Why is it in college football it is illegal to send an advanced scout? Like, did you, before all this went down? This is kind of like the Deflategate in some respects to me. Mm-hmm. Did you know what the acronym PSI stood for, and did you know what allowable PSI in a NFL football was? Did you have any idea that was an issue before Deflategate?
Well, I didn't know the PSI of a football, but I filled up a tire before.
Okay, so you knew what PSI is. I
yes.
didn't. I mean, I knew there was a pressure, and okay. Did you know prior to this that it was not within NCAA rules to send an advanced scout? Like if you're playing Boise State next week, to send a scout to their game?
I didn't.
I did not either.
The coaches should know that.
Yeah. Did you know that, DC?
I actually had no idea.
Okay. Why?
It's a money thing.
It's okay.
Well, that's where a lot of it came from, and because it was like 1994 when that ruling was made. A lot of it was schools couldn't afford to do that.
Okay. And so it was the Alabamas could afford to do it, but the New Mexico states couldn't, and so it would be an unfair playing field, and so they should not be permitted to do that. That's kind of what we're looking at?
It's the gist of it, yes.
Okay. Do you think, because I do, that rule is antiquated at this point, that the amount of money that's coming into college football that I do believe almost every program would be able to afford to send an advanced scout to their next opponent. Do you agree with that premise?
I do, but not to sit there and film the sideline.
Okay, no. They can't film the sideline, and you can't dress up in gear of an opponent to stand on the side. All right, without electronic equipment, I agree with that. Like I'm not going to absolve them of everything. My point where I'm going, I get that they broke the rules, and I'm not a Harbaugh guy. I'm not going to sit here and be a Harbaugh apologist. I'm struggling to get on the train that this is one of the biggest cheating scandals ever, and this is one of the worst things that ever happened. Well,
he's doing it intentionally. Like, this is straight up, like, to your point, he's like, these are old school rules. They don't matter. Why should I care about them?
So you think this is just a defiance thing on his part, and that's why they're coming after him?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Because with Jim Harbaugh, that team is so good. They have plenty of fantastic coaches on it. Was this one where really, did this guy just go rogue? Did they ever use anything he did? Because it is crazy. That potential, I don't know if it's him or not, when that dude is standing there on a sideline with a pass wearing Central Michigan stuff. Like, at that point in time, I don't care if it's an antiquated rule,
right,
an advanced scouting, this or that. It's kind of like, what are you actually doing?
Yeah, I agree with you when it comes to that. I mean, if we're getting to the point where you're dressing up in opposition gear, and by the way, we're doing it for Central Michigan, and so it makes me think, okay, if they did it for Central Michigan, they had to do it for Iowa and Penn State and Wisconsin, right? I mean,
is he like Tom Cruise in the Ohio State office, like coming down from the ceiling, looking at the game plan?
let me tell you something. Michigan could be. And I'm a big Jim McElwain and Rob Hakey fan. I love me some Chips, man. Fire up Chips. I got nothing but love for Central Michigan, and I've never been to Mount Pleasant. I've heard it's neither a mountain nor is it pleasant, but I like they played in the game back in 2019. Nothing but love for Central Michigan. I still talk to Mac every once in a while. But Michigan could roll out the balls and beat Central Michigan without scouting them, right? I mean, they're that much better. But so why am I going to sit here and believe, to your point, if they dressed up this fool and put him on the sidelines for Central Michigan, that they didn't do it for Penn State, for Iowa, for everybody else, for somebody else? I agree with you. I mean, there's absolutely, they've crossed all the lines, right? Because the rules exist, and so they violated the rules. I'm just struggling when they hit the electronics. You can't tape their sidelines. I always wonder this too. You get game tape, right? You get the all 22, right? That never includes the coach's signals.
I don't believe it does, because the all 22 that I've seen, when people have shown me, hey, this is what they did last game.
Yeah,
it's it's a field. It's from the end zone angle.
Yep.
And it's not focused. You get a shot of the scoreboard, so it shows you down
what
distance,
play
what time it is,
yep,
and then into the next play, and it's just all 22 of the field.
Okay.
So, are there ways you could use television productions, etc., to find signals? Yeah, that potentially could happen. But this is, to your point, like, this is something that it's not the worst thing we've ever seen, but it's so ridiculous that I don't have any willingness to want to listen to Michigan now complain that everyone is advanced scouting and pretending to put people on the sidelines. It's just so wild.
Do we believe that everyone's advanced scouting? I believe that many are advanced scouting.
Well, it seems like there might be some collusion going on in the Big Ten right now with the scouting of Michigan.
Well, that's what they're claiming. They're certainly claiming that.
And the collusion part is interesting, because when you go on dressed up as Central Michigan staff or whatever,
What are we doing?
How did you get there? How did you get that access? Is that collusion? And I think that's really that to me feels like the biggest issue, is the collusion between teams and coaches.
Michigan,
coaches talk all the time. There's not a thing wrong with a coach talking to his friend and be like, man, they don't blitz a lot on third down.
Yeah.
Well, but that's not collusion, though. That's just guys talking.
But that's what Michigan is saying. They're not saying that they were on the sideline scouting them. They're saying, like, oh, they shared some defensive stuff.
Which, by the way, is not against the rules. It's not an advanced scout. If you've got a buddy If your buddy coaches at Utah State and they play Boise State this week, and you're playing Boise State next week, and you guys talk, to your point, they blitz a lot on third down. Hey, when they say Omaha, they always bring the guy from this side, and they say dynamite. That means this or whatever. That's sharing information. And JJ, that is accepted, right? That is, expected.
Coaches
and
openly talk about it.
That's right. And that's why I'm going to go back to my premise on this.
Yeah.
Where, for crying out loud, everybody's got money. You can send. I think even New Mexico State or Louisiana Monroe or I don't want to single people out. The schools who say we don't have a budget, they could put a guy on an airplane, and they would find a budget, and send a scout if they could, if they wanted to, and hell, I almost think you should find a spot in the press box or here's your seat and let the guy scout the next game. Every other sport does it. Every other sport. High school coaches do it. I know. I'm not even certain. I know in high school football, coaches are out watching next week's opponent. AAU basketball, we used to do it. I mean, give me another sport where you can't go sit in a stadium and scout your next opponent.
The collusion I'm talking about is Ohio State, Rutgers, and Purdue Michigan's claiming that they were basically trading Wolverine signs.
Yeah.
That's more than just a conversation.
Yeah, that is. Michigan put out a 10-page response.
Well, then it feels like at that point in time, you have to say that you can have zero communication between people in season.
Well, or you say it's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, Prime came out and said that he was getting calls about other teams, and teams were getting calls on him. So people are talking, and it's pretty open, it seems.
Yeah, look, JJ, I agree with you. This whole the electronic videotape, you can't do that. Okay, you can't dressing Ted Lasso up in their Central Michigan fire up chips coach's gear is too much, right? I mean that's basically I got 1-2 middle fingers pointed at you, right? I mean that's one says bleep, one says right. I mean you can't do that. That's. But I'm struggling, losing my mind that they are cheating because they sent a scout. Yeah, they can't put a guy. If this guy was on the sideline, we got a problem, and he was. So we got a problem. If they were using the electronics, what if the Big Ten came out and said, "All right, I'll tell you what, we are punishing Michigan because Connor Stallions was on the Central Michigan sideline." Posing as member of their staff, and you can't do that crap. And we're penalizing Michigan because they use electronic equipment. But you know what? From here on out, you can send an advanced scout because it's 2023, and why the hell can't you send an advanced scout to a football game? What if they did that?
I could see that change, and that's my whole thing. If you want to send an advanced scout, then talk about changing the rule. Don't do something and then act like we need to be like, well, it's not that bad because it's an antiquated rule. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's been a ton of those. And that's how name, image, and likeness and all this other stuff blew up because NCAA never changed. Now, is it something you need to change? Let's go for it. And I'd be interested too, talking to coaches, like how much does that even matter?
No, that's
having
fair.
An advanced scout.
What are you getting there that you're not getting off of the all 22?
And to the point would be what we're talking about is you're just trying to get a couple calls. And if you're up in the press box, well, are you getting anything different than you were from the film? Because the people I've talked to, like even in the NFL when they're advanced scouting, they're there to watch for signals. They're there to steal signals. That's what advanced scouting is.
Yeah. All right, 505-246-0610. I just been listening to this over the last few weeks, and you know, I think that they're brash. I think that they're sticking their fingers in the air. I think they've crossed the line with the whole Connor Stallions thing, standing on the sideline in someone else's coaching garb. But I'm struggling when people tell me this is, he's got to get fired. And well, okay, yeah, they broke the rules. They did. But is this one of the biggest cheating scandals in the history of college football sports, as people have been telling me? I can't find my path there. All right, I'm going to find a path to get you into this Lobos game. It's against St. Mary's, the women against Pepperdine tonight. Bears and Panthers, I got a ton of NFL stuff for you when we get back. Giannis got ejected last night. The Nuggets got a big win. Lakers got run out of the built. And you got a 71-year-old manager starting a new job in Major League Baseball. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night and Monday night and Thursday night football.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife. And our daughter. They didn't make it.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Spout, get ready!
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Hi, I'm Steve Sucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated,
ripped,
plastered, destroyed, bruh. You're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
It's Dwight Goodman!
Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust.
There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
Should be changed every week. In my high school, we did that. I guess changing signals isn't as common as you and I think it might be. I guess, you put your signals in. Didn't we get, JJ, didn't we get a call or a text a couple weeks ago that a former player said Rocky Long didn't change his signals since 2019 when he was at UNM, right?
Yeah, you're not changing every single signal every week.
No, I mean, it's obviously not as common as we think it is.
If one gets picked up, then you better change it. But it's not. You don't necessarily go into every single week using new things.
Or if you're playing against a school where you have a former coach on their staff or a former player now. Chris says, when I was coaching Yaffle, we used to go film our next opponent. Yaffle has a rule you cannot film from the sidelines, only in the end zone. The NCAA is so archaic in their thinking. JJ,
but they're not, because that's his what he's saying. You film from the end zone. That's essentially all 22.
Yeah,
and everyone has access to that.
So help me go to that on the all 22. Is that a service? And so for those of you who don't know what all 22 is, that is the wide, what used to be called coach's tape, right? It is the wide field angle where you're watching the game and you see all 22 players on the field, and so you can coach and you can scout and say, here's what they do, here's where that guy goes, here's what, or when you're looking at your game, here's what we did. Is that a service that provides that, or does each team feed their all 22 into a service and they all subscribe to that? Do you know how that works?
It's pretty much that. Like your all 22 is uploaded post game, and then you can grab the film on your next opponent.
Yeah. All right. You can continue on this. I just want to. I want to. Let me close this out. Read you some of the response. There was a 10-page response to the Big Ten from Michigan. It was focused on urging the commissioner to respect due process and argued that a sanction at this stage would be breaking the league's bylaws in an effort to lay the groundwork for potential legal intervention if Harbaugh is suspended. And look, Michigan is protecting, and they're fighting so vehemently, A, because I guess they think they're right, but B, they are in contention to play in the college football playoff. There's a lot of money and a college football championship potentially on the line here. And so Michigan basically said, we are not bringing a knife to a gunfight. And this is the regents, the president. They said it's essential the Big Ten Conference not take any disciplinary action against the University of Michigan until the final results of its own, or more appropriately, the NCAA investigation are officially announced. They're buying time. Basically, fine. You want to hit us in February? Hit us in February. You want to hit us next June? Hit us next June. But you do not want this fight, is what they're saying. And they're doubling down and they're going at this thing. There's no, we did it. Yeah, no, that's our dude on the sideline. Yeah, we did. I mean, no, none of that. Even if internally they're probably going, we probably did it. But they realize what's at stake here in the next 2 months. Right? What is today, the 9th? And we're about 2 months exactly away from the college football final, the championship game. They realize what's at stake. I think the Big Ten does as well. Welcome to Beat a Conference Commissioner, Tony Petitti. Right?
So let me ask you this.
Yeah.
What if Connor Stallions was just super ambitious and actually did this on his own to try and get closer to Jim Harbaugh and advance his career?
What if?
Because that's kind of what the Wall Street Journal article alluded to from a couple days ago.
Yeah, and I guess there's a little bit to that. I guess the next question on the what if is, okay, but what did Michigan do anything with the information that he gathered? Look, you guys all probably have a buddy who snuck on a sideline once, right?
Yes.
Right? I mean, now it's a little harder these days, but Ralph, who sends us the surf reports, tells the story of a Aztec Las Vegas Bowl years ago where he, way too hammered, almost got into the locker room to give the halftime speech. Like his intent was to, and he got all the way to the door, and they're like, "Who the hell are you, dude? Get out of here!" But he got all the way through security, literally down the hallway, almost in the locker room. Right? Everybody's got a story like that. So what if? Does that make it different? Yeah, to me it does. Yeah. And so that's what you're saying. The due process has to be done. That's what Michigan's saying. Is if this guy Jim Harbaugh didn't tell them though. This guy was, he's a young guy trying to get in the favor of the coach. I mean, I like that. Guys, do you buy it? Do you believe that?
I think it's a very interesting theory. I would not rule that out.
Now, I could see Harbaugh maybe not knowing, but somebody on that staff freaking.
I mean, I could see maybe the DC, he goes up and he says, hey, look for this on pass plays or look for this on run plays, and is kind of curry favor through those little bits of information. Maybe doesn't come right out and say, hey, I scouted this is what I have, but just trying to work his way up the ladder as quickly as possible.
How much goes on in a football program like that, at that magnitude, that a head coach doesn't know? Honestly. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of people.
There's a lot going on, and I don't know how it would be possible to actually have know literally everything that's going on with Michigan football.
Let me ask you this. And football's different than basketball. And JJ and I spent a lot of time on this one. When Louisville got in trouble, when they were having recruits and parties and young ladies who were allegedly paid to have sexual relations with recruits. I believe the word is prostitution. And Rick Pitino at the time said, I had no idea. You believe Rick Pitino had no idea? Guy who, head coaches who were in charge of everything, who know everything, who are, right? You believe he had no idea? Because I don't.
I just don't know enough about that story to really say what I believe or don't, because I'd hate to go out.
Right. JJ, where are you on what if Connor Stallions was just did this on his own?
Even if he was acting rogue in all this, I don't believe Michigan should get a death penalty. I think this team should still be allowed to play football. If Jim Harbaugh happens to not be on the sidelines when they go on this run, it wouldn't hurt my feelings.
Okay. All right. He was suspended 3 games to start the season, if you recall. Chances that Jim Harbaugh is the coach of Michigan next season? 5%.
60.
6-0?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Jim Harbaugh still loves it. He wants to win a national championship at Michigan.
Yep.
And a lot of this, too, is him saying, bleep off NCAA. I'm going to do this. I'm going to recruit the way I want to recruit. I'm going to do advanced scouting. You don't like it? Well, then come and try to get me, because I'm here.
Where are you?
I think they need to take their time and do this properly. I feel like acting too quickly will be something that Big Ten really regrets.
I think Jim Harbaugh is, to your point, JJ, I 100% think he loves that place. He wants to win a championship there. He's got a chance to win a championship there. But I think when this year is over, Jim Harbaugh is going to have so many other opportunities. I think he's going back to the NFL. The money's going to be there, and I think he's just going to say, I just don't want to put up with this crap anymore. All the red tape. Look, the stuff that you deal with as a coach in college football is a lot different, a lot more voluminous. There's way more than you do in the NFL, right? I just think he's going to go. Whether he's going to be asked to go, told to go, or want to go, I don't see him back at Michigan next year. But we'll see. All right, 505-246-0610. We're up on the video on your television, Comcast Channel 26, on Facebook, the OD and the AM. Adrian's producing on ProView Networks. It's on ProView Networks YouTube channel as well. When we come back, let's get in the Bears and Panthers tonight. Your big Monday night football game. And this quarterback's doing something for the first time. Well, 2 quarterbacks doing something for the first time in their NFL career. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night and Monday night and Thursday night football.
This report is brought to you by Blake.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years.
Battle after Lobo women's basketball. Actually, we're not going to have it tonight, are we? Lobo women's basketball. So we start with it and then go into Lobo women's basketball. What's our program schedule tonight? Do you have it with you? I guess I should know it. Is it right here? Thursday night football. Global women's basketball. I'll get it for you. I honestly I don't see it right here either. But you get the Bears and the Panthers tonight. One way or the other. You get Bears and Panthers tonight. And big matchup, JJ. Do you like Bears or Panthers tonight? Which is your big one?
This is, can you please show me something, Bryce Young? This is
time.
an opportunity. You need a moment. You have the Chicago Bears defense on the other side. I get they give Montez Sweat a whole bunch of money. That should not change things for you in this game. There's an undrafted rookie free agent on the other side. You're the number 1 overall pick. Have your primetime moment tonight, Bryce Young.
It's got to be, right? It's got to be. They'll face a Bears defense with a they're giving up yards, and it's time. Now, last time the Bears were on Thursday night, I think DJ Moore caught 1,000 yards and 6 touchdowns or whatever it was. But he was
DJ
crazy.
Moore revenge game.
Yeah, against the Panthers. Play you some DJ Moore tonight. Should I play my DJ Moore tonight?
As in Badgett, just feed DJ. Boom, boom, boom,
All
boom.
right. All right. For the first time since in the common draft era. So the common draft era, I think, goes back to the 70s. The Giants will start an undrafted rookie in a non-strike game at quarterback. Tommy DeVito will get the start. He'll be the 10th undrafted rookie to start an NFL game since 2010. And the second undrafted rookie this season, Tyson Bagent, who you watch tonight with the Bears, is the other. So it's really uncommon that undrafted rookies start, although we got 2 this season. That is because Daniel Jones tore the ACL in his right knee. Backup Tyrod Taylor is already on injury reserve. The Giants, JJ, I mean, when you tell me who's the worst team in the NFL now, it might be the Giants, right?
Absolutely. If you saw what the Cowboys did to the New York Giants in that first matchup, when they had Daniel Jones at quarterback, just think of what they can do to the Giants with Tommy DeVito at quarterback.
Tommy DeVito. No nerves, by the way. He's just excited. Quote from DeVito, "I have a life rule. It's rule number 1. Don't panic. That is the thing I've always leaned on. It's a game. It's football. Yeah, there's a lot on the line. But at the end of the day, you play this game because you love it. And I do love this game. I'm just going to go out there and enjoy myself." End quote. All right, man. I don't know how much fun it is getting beat up by that Cowboy defense, but you enjoy yourself. I mean, yeah.
It's a great opportunity. You're an NFL starting quarterback.
Sure.
So embrace it. Go chase your dream. And good luck against Cowboys defense.
Yeah, no, I'm all stoked for you. You got this is your dream, and you get your parents there and get tickets and get as many as you can. But good luck against the Cowboy defense.
Hey, who knows? Maybe he's the next Brock Purdy.
We've already seen him play. Have you seen him play? Remember in 3 weeks ago, they wouldn't let him throw anything but a screen pass?
Situationally, that was, yeah, I can understand that. No, I hope the best for Tommy DeVito. I'm glad he has these rules.
I hope the best for Tommy DeVito.
Yes.
All right, Ryan Tannehill's a backup for the first time. So another quarterback doing something that he's never done before. He said he's struggling with it. They're going with Will Levis the rest of the way in Tennessee. He says, I'm not real good with this. I'm struggling with it, but I will be there for, to help and be the teammate, and he's still getting paid. And this had to happen, right? This had to happen, correct?
Yes, it did have to happen. And it's unfortunate when an injury takes away your opportunity, but that's part of being in the NFL. Ryan Tannehill wasn't at a point where he was automatically going to get his job back, regardless of what Will Levis did. He's not that quarterback anymore. This is a Titans team that needs an injection of life, and it needs some excitement. It needs to build an offense that's outside of just hand Derrick Henry the football 25 times. Let's see what happens.
Tannehill, quote, it hits hard. I've never been in this situation before. Never a situation that anyone wants to be in, but it's a situation I'm in. End quote. Well, look, man, it's somewhat of a first world problem. What are you making, $30 million this year to be a backup quarterback? A lot of dudes would love to be a backup quarterback in the NFL. But it's hard when the realization is you're not the dude anymore. Now, look, I'm not telling you I'm hoping this, but JJ, I've watched this how many times in the NFL? he could be the starting quarterback by the third quarter, right? I mean,
yeah.
Will Levis could get hurt. I mean, how many Jimmy Garoppolo scenarios can we see, right? Where you're out and then everybody else gets hurt and, well, we need you now, bro. I know we told you you're not good enough, but go be good enough, right? I mean, seriously, that's the conversation. So he'll be ready. This is the right move, man. That franchise has got to go forward and see what they've got with Will Levis. They've got a big, strong-armed kid at quarterback who looks the part, who has been okay to decent. I know that's not good enough for an NFL quarterback, but it's a rookie making his first 2 starts. That's a hell of a lot better than some other rookies we've seen, by the way, including the number 1 overall pick. It was time. They had to do this. But you got 2 quarterbacks this week who are basically doing something they've never done before. Tommy DeVito, you're starting an NFL game against the Dallas Cowboys. Knock yourself out, young man. Who's got the Cowboy defense? Sure as hell hope I'm not playing against them this week. And Ryan Tannehill, you're a backup quarterback in the NFL, and you got to adjust to that as well. So I don't know. We'll see. What's the spread on that Cowboy game? Got to be the biggest spread we've seen in a long time, don't you think? What do you think?
Double
it is?
digits?
What do you think? Oh my goodness! What do you think it is?
Oh,
when I just gave you that reaction, what do you think it is?
12.
JJ?
13.5.
Dude, it is 17 points.
Oh my god.
When was the last time you saw an NFL spread at 17 points? Remember there was a Patriots game over somebody that whatever, it was 17 points and the over-under is only 39.5. So they don't think Tommy DeVito is going to score a point. What do they think the score is? So 39.5. So if it's 27 to 10, basically, is what they think, right? 27-12 would be the number. 20, 29, 20, right in there.
I'm shocked. 17. Whoa.
No, honestly, when was the last time you saw a 17-point spread? And it might not be enough, by the way.
This is the classic situation that we talk about. We're like, all right, let's slow down. Are we missing something here? But I do not feel that we're missing anything in this matchup.
No, what are you missing? I mean, they're sending Louis DePalma from Taxi out there to go up against Dallas Cowboy defense, who's been playing well, who is coming off that tough loss to the Eagles that stung after winning 2 games in a row. Played well last week, just not well enough to win. Their defense isn't what cost them a win. You see what goodness gracious, you see what the Cowboys got the next 3 weeks? Giants, Panthers, Commanders. I mean, it's get well time for them, isn't it? Not that they're sick.
It sets up very well for them nicely going into that return game where Philadelphia goes into Dallas.
17.
Are you taking the 17?
I mean, I'm not betting that game, but if you said, all right, you got to go one way or the other on that game, I might lay the 17.
I'd be very tempted as well. I guess we'll find out on the 3-for-all tomorrow.
Well, because the Cowboys have won games, right? They beat the Rams 43-20. They beat the Patriots 38-3. They beat the Jets 30-10. They beat the Giants 40-0. So their wins, aside from the win against the Chargers, they won by 40, by 20, by 35, and by 23. So they're not afraid to put it on you a little bit. Right? Those are pretty big spreads. They won 5 games, and 4 of them by 40, by 20, by 35, and by 23. Go find me another team that's got 4 20-plus margins of victory this year. I don't think you can.
And doesn't Baltimore have the best point differential in the NFL?
Yeah.
Which is, it's crazy when you think about it that way, too.
Yeah.
Let's not forget, though, Cowboys did lose to the Cardinals.
They did. Joshua Dobbs.
But who was the quarterback of the Cardinals?
That was Joshua Dobbs.
The legend.
The legend, yes.
He's not wrong.
I forget that. You're right.
He's not wrong. The legend that is Joshua Dobbs. I mean, he's got 2 insane wins this year. Now, those are the only 2 of his career, but he's got 2 insane wins this year. The Cowboy point differential is plus 72. And to your point on Baltimore, it's plus 115. Yeah, If you forced me to bet that game, I would lay the points. Where would you go? I mean, and I almost would never take a 17-point spread in the NFL. It just feels like it's just too thick. It's the NFL. That's a pro team on the other side. There's no way. And NFL games are always tight. But look at what they've done.
You make a strong case. I want to say the Giants, but I just can't.
Don't you? But it's how can you? What
how can you?
What gives you any belief? That they're going to stop the Cowboys' offense? Moved the ball up and down the field last week against the Eagles. A better defense than the Giants. Giants just lost to the Raiders last week. Right? Looked horrible doing it. Now they're going to run Louis DePalma out there against a really good defense. Tell me where you think they can compete.
It's one of those, I guess, the competition in my mind is that, being division rivals, sometimes you get the most out of your team.
That's fair. And we're going to sit here on Monday, and Jeff, you're an idiot. You're wrong. And look, they almost beat them, or they did. I mean, 17 points is stupid in the NFL.
What is the money line on the Giants?
I don't know. I'll find it for you. I'll tell you when we get back because we're really late for the break. Coming up here at 8 o'clock, Trace Bruckler, Lobo tight end, is going to be with us. We'll talk Lobo football with him as they get ready to go up to the Blue. Jerry Palm at 8:30 on the opening drive. That's he from CBS Sports. Can't wait to talk to him about a really exciting weekend in college football. On 95.9 FM and AM 670, Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night, Monday night, and Thursday night football.
This report is sponsored by Ancestry.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is Pro View. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on Pro View Networks.
It's a fake. They have a man. It's a conversion. On the fake, it's complete out wide to the big tight end, David Butler. And it's a Rams first down.
It's tough.
I'll say he stepped out of bounds at the 15. Right back to it, and he is in. Touchdown for Charles Lopez Burton.
Olivas has some time. Josiah Mitchell, it's intercepted! Touchdown! It'll go the distance, and Jared Neechan.
Bunch formation to the left. Cabrera, the handoff. Cabrera's got some room. Up the middle of the 45, 40. Foot race to the end zone. Cabrera trying to outrace the Matador. Secondary. Dash drug down. Touchdown, I believe. That'll be a 70-yard touchdown run, and it is. Cabrera
right alongside. Expect to be a low-scoring game. Garcia has a lot of speed. Garcia is gone. Nobody gonna catch him. Touchdown Vikings. Daniel Garcia with breakaway speed.
Yeah.
Brandon Olivas, see if he can get the same sort of magic. This time he looks to his right first, then he's looking to his left. He's gonna bomb this out there for Moorhead again. Jahari Moorhead! My goodness!
Kyle Evan Huss back to work on the option. He'll flip it out. Big time hole there. See you later. One play and to the house for Malachi Gutierrez. pressure. It's coming from the side now. He's rolling. Goes down the field. Open man. Touchdown! Elijah Hansen connects.
And that will be blocked up front. Picked up. And I think we've got ourselves a return for a touchdown. Jace Henderson, the sophomore, has a million.
I don't know if I could have done that or not. Remember all those signals to give the quarterback. Rivera throws over the middle, intercepted. Yes, sir. There's Megan Posa. Yes, sir. Megan Posa. Posa down the right side, still on his feet down the left side now, cuts it back up to Haas. Man, Posa may score. Posa still on his feet, dragging a tackle to the end zone, dives in, touchdown, I believe. Let's see, touchdown. That has to be a touchdown. Posa.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
CBSSports.com going to be with us at 8:30 as we go into the second weekend. Only 3 weekends left, 3 weeks left in the regular season of college football. Just bonkers to me. And they get bigger and bigger every week. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck is in beautiful Southern California. How's Cali? Hit a little in and out yet? You surf, brah? What you do?
Not yet, brah. We're a little more inland right now. So not quite overlooking the beautiful ocean, which we'll get to see tonight.
You get a walk through it? You get a walk through Malibu today?
Yeah, we'll go after, early this morning.
All right.
So chance to see everything.
JJ may not come back from Malibu.
I wouldn't blame him.
Well,
I guess you got a wife and kid here.
I'll send for them.
I will have them sent to
Send a telegraph.
They will be here in a few fortnights.
Honey, we're load up the wagon and we're moving to Malibu. Yeah,
See you in 3 months.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. All right, we were talking NFL quarterback stuff, and Tommy DeVito is your quarterback for the Giants, and Ryan Tannehill is not your quarterback for the Titans. There's been a lot of talk coming out of the other New York team. Robert Saleh says he's on the same page with Jets leadership on the quarterback situation as Zach Wilson. There was an interesting conversation with Robert Saleh and he's the Jets quarterback, on WFAN radio in New York, where he was asked, why don't you go to the bench? Why don't you go to Trevor Siemian? And he struggled. It's a fair question. I don't know. I'm going to plead the fifth. And that kind of stuff, JT, it just leaves it open for interpretation, right? What does that mean? Does that mean that ownership is forcing this guy on him? Right? What does it mean? And basically, he said, we're on the same page. So any conspiracy theory that might be out there, we're all on the same page. When you got to do damage control, you got a problem, don't you? And they've got a problem. And they're just waiting until Aaron Rodgers gets back. Is Zach Wilson their backup next year? Is he on their roster next year? Is he in he's got his chance now, right? He's had 2 years. He's had the Aaron Rodgers tutelage. You've thrown him out this year. I'm not going to blame all last week on him. I can't. I got sacked 8 times, didn't throw an interception. Now he's got to hold on to the damn football. You can't fumble it 3 times. But I'm not blaming it all on him, but I think we've seen enough to know, all right, he's probably not your guy.
And this is a situation where, from the outside looking in, we think it's easy. What are you doing, Robert Saleh? Why are you standing behind Zach Wilson so much?
I
just throw Trevor Siemian in there. Let's go. And I think Robert Saleh was saying before he fumbled his way into I plead the fifth, and I'm not going to say anything about the quarterback position, is unless Aaron Rodgers is coming back, there's not a quarterback good enough to overcome the issues that team has.
Yeah, see, I don't think it's easy because the answer is it easy because the answer is Trevor Siemian? I mean, you guys haven't we seen enough of Trevor Siemian? Didn't the Broncos try to make him the guy for a while? And I mean, you're a coach. Pick a team, all right, and the team would be the Jets. JJ, you're Robert Saleh. You're the coach. You got to win a game this weekend, and your options are Zach Wilson or Trevor Siemian. Who are you going with?
See, and the thing that people are screaming about is we know what Zach Wilson is. So why not give Trevor Siemian? We
know what Trevor Siemian is too, don't we?
Okay.
Do you not? You don't think so?
I think we do. But I think from the noise standpoint, when people are asking questions all the time, they're like, why not just show us one more time so we can see if Trevor Siemian is that bad in this offense?
All right. Global football's in Boise on Saturday. I'm going to try to get one on the blue. We're going to talk global football, and I think you'll enjoy a conversation with a young man, all Mountain West academic team, who is a starting tight end and just a big stud on that offense. We'll talk about that offense, where the mindset is, and why the Lobos are going to beat the Broncos. Lobo tight end Trace Bruckler will be with us when we get back. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The sports animal, your home for Sunday night and Monday night and Thursday night football.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Spout, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. The drunk driver hit us. And my wife. And our daughter. They didn't make it.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, rip, plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Rosendo Najar here, President of Carpenters Local 1319.
Juan Junior Gonzalez, Warden of Local 1319. Some people have a misconception about what a carpenter does.
The carpentry trade entails more than just woodworking or building houses. We are responsible for 85% of a construction job site. Everything from the superintendent on down. We have a great apprenticeship program. The information can be found on our website.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets. because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Hi, I'm Steve Sunker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right.
And JJ Buck. Global football on the road Saturday on the blue. The mystical blue that they love so much in Boise, Idaho. It'll be over on News Radio KKOB, 8 o'clock start. New Mexico and Boise State. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck. Get back to your phone calls in a little bit. Looking forward to talking to some Lobo football with a really, really talented tight end. Lobo football has been so much improved offensively, and maybe they don't include the tight ends in the passing game what you think, but I think you're going to be interested to learn how much they really do include the tight ends. He's a sensational tight end, and he's also all-conference academic. Trace Bruckler joins us this morning on The Sports Animal. Good morning, Trace. How you living?
Good morning, guys. Good. How are you?
Really good. Thank you. You ever play on the Blue before? You ever been up there?
Yeah, we played there my freshman season. At that point, I think we had it was a crazy time, man. We had all of our quarterbacks out. We had like a GA at quarterback, man. But it was a good environment.
That was the Bryson Carroll game. That was the Bryson Carroll game.
Yes, sir.
For those of you who don't remember, that was when the Lobos were out of quarterbacks. Bryson Carroll had a year of eligibility left, but was a graduate assistant. Basically, was a coach, and they turned to him that week and said, "Hey, go find the equipment room, get some equipment, find yourself a helmet. You're starting quarterback next week." Good times, huh?
Man,
you got a little bit better chance this week, don't you think?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We got a good game plan going in there, man.
All right. So how you guys feeling? When you're losing, it's not fun, and losing the way you lost last week isn't fun. I did Lobo Talk yesterday and asked Coach G and I asked Alec Marenko this. From the offensive side, where's your guys' heads going up to Boise?
Man, it's just all about us. It's all about, staying on track throughout drives. I feel like nobody's really stopped us. We've stopped ourselves with penalties and, pre-snap penalties, holding calls, stuff like that. So I feel like if we can get out of our own way, man, we'll have a great chance. We got a great game plan, like I said, so we're looking good.
Yeah, Trace Bruckler, Lobo tight end, is with us. I'm not going to lie. When I was out of practice early in the season, I was excited that I thought there was more involvement with the tight ends catching the ball. How are you in this offense? What's your role in this offense as a tight end who I believe has caught 4 balls for 35 yards this year in 9 games?
We're just looking for opportunity every week. Coach Selfo does a great job, trying to get us involved. But mainly our goal or our role right now is in the run game, just cutting off and pass protection. Trying to hold up to get guys open. But we got a lot of stuff for the tight ends this week, so we're looking to get one of us in the end zone.
And Trace, how much confidence does Dylan Hopkins bring to this offense, an offensive coordinator like Bryant Vincent, what they have been able to bring in for this team? How much has that just helped you guys have that belief that you just said, like, hey, we're just beating ourselves, we can clean this up, that combination this year for this offense?
Oh, yeah, man. They've been doing this for 3 or 4 years together, so, they know. Obviously, Coach V knows the offense. He created it. But Dylan knows it like the back of his hand, man. And we just got trust in him that he's going to execute and make the right plays. And, we never get too down if the ball's never coming to us because we know that, he's making the right decisions on the field.
And as a an athlete, you've grown up, you've conditioned yourself on and off the field, and you live these games just as emotionally as we all do, but you have to be able to bounce back and focus. As fans, you can let them go crazy. What's the key for you, to be able to have that rule, whether it's a win or a loss? Coaches say 24 hours and then we get back to work. How do you handle the mental side of it?
Yeah, man, I feel like, I don't know, it's just we got a lot of self-motivated guys, this season, which is grown from where we came from a few years ago since I've been here. But I don't know, it's just all about having a great Tuesday practice. It's the first day we practice during the week, and then just trying to get better Wednesday, Thursday, and then walk through Friday and Saturday. Just making one day better at each day as it comes. And I feel like, last time it was kind of a blowout game. We came back the next week and we had a perfect game offensively. So I feel like, if we continue to prepare the way we've been preparing this week, it'll be the same come Saturday.
Lobo tight end Trace Bruckler is with us. There's been some lapses on offense, second half stuff. Can you pinpoint it? I know I've asked Coach Vincent the same thing, but you guys are on the field. There's been times where, like UMass, for instance, where you had to hold on. Really, really impressive in the first half. Is it what they're doing, what you're doing? Because I know Coach G says a lot, the Lobos are beating the Lobos.
Yep. It's, I feel like sometimes we get off to a hot start, and then we get lackadaisical in our plays, and, we're not really as focused as we should be, as locked in as we should be. And, I feel like we can eliminate that. We're doing it to ourselves, and if we just get that out the way, I feel like we could have won some games throughout the season doing that, and I feel like if we do that this week, we can win it. First catch in your career was a touchdown, wasn't it? It was. I think the second one was. Second one? All right, first game against Houston Baptist. So I owe you an apology. I got to come clean with you. When your mom was texting Portnoy that he was mispronouncing your name, dude, it was me. I was the guy on TV that called you Buckler that first time. Totally on me. I looked down at my sheet, and I'm like, did I put an R in there? Did I typed it wrong? Totally on me, and all these years later, I'm standing in front of you, and I own it. I apologize. And tell your mom I apologize, too. That was on me. She was texting the wrong dude. Oh, dude, it happens all the time, man. But I appreciate it, man. Yeah, no, that was on me. All right, so the whole mindset of the team, where are you? As far as just overall, with 3 games left to go, and Coach G says you've got all your goals in front of you. I know it's been frustrating. You hear some of the noise. How do you shut the noise out? You guys have phones, you have ears, you have radios, you have TVs, you have friends. How do you shut all that mess out and go about your business? Man, it's tough, like Coach G always says it, like the same guys that, hype you up after the win are the same guys that tear you down after a loss. So really, we all just try to, focus on ourselves, keep the media things out of it because, it's mostly just most of the time negativity. So, if we just focus on ourselves, just keep stacking days, and like you said, we got 3 games left. We win all 3 of them. We're in a bowl game. So that's really where our heads are at. You're a guy who appreciates catching, right? You catch the football. The Ricky White catch the other day, where he went up and over Zach Morris and peeled it off the back of his jersey, I was pretty impressed. How good of a catch? What did you guys say on the sidelines? Man, I was I didn't know the guy, but apparently one of our GAs said that he was at Michigan State a few years ago. He was like a freshman All-American, got kicked off the team, but he's a great player. Made a great catch. Do you guys marvel at stuff like that, or you go, dang, when a guy makes a play, because that was a Sports Center play, right? For those of you who missed it, UNLV's receiver Zach Morris played it perfectly, went over his back, pulled it off, 2 hands off, reached around him over his back. Just one of those. What do you guys say on the sideline when the other guy makes a play like that? You just tip your hat. What do you do? Yeah, man. Tip your hat. It's a good catch. Guy made a great play. We're never going to tear down our defense, but guy makes a great play like that. You got to give it to him.
Trades, can you take us back? Friday nights, Lone Star High School. What is that experience like playing high school football in Texas? Oh man, it's crazy. Up in Frisco, I don't know if you guys know a lot about Frisco, but we got the Star. It's the headquarters of the Dallas Cowboys. So that's where we played our home games at. Man, it's housed probably 30,000, 25,000 people. So playing a high school game in front of that many people, man.
it's wild. You know, the atmosphere is crazy. You know, I mean, I always like to say we were the best in our little area. We would just kill teams, but yeah, Texas high school football is different, man.
So, are you a Cowboys fan?
I mean, yeah, I got a lot of love for the Cowboys. You know, deep in my heart, you know, I grew up there. Parents were a Cowboys fan, but you know, me personally, I'm actually a Bills fan.
Why is that?
I love their quarterback, Josh Allen. I love Stephon Diggs. I love their fan base, man. They're just crazy, you know. And I'm actually going to the Cowboys-Bills game here later this season.
Nice. How's a lot of Texas guys come over to New Mexico? Some say it's totally different. Some say it's not that different. How's New Mexico been to you now? Here's third season over here, and you made a decision to come over and play here. And aside from the football program itself, how have you adjusted to this place? Because it's a lot of us think it's a pretty special spot.
Yeah, man. You know, when I first got here, well, the only thing I could describe it as is different.
Yeah.
You know, coming from where I came from, kind of like North Dallas area, you know, it's kind of a bigger city, suburbs area up there. So coming here, man, it was different. But, you know, settling in for the past 3 years, I've grown to really like it. You know, there's some special spots, especially up in the North Valley. Spend a lot of time there. And yeah, it's super nice, man. I love the weather. That's my favorite thing about it. Weather's great. You know, yesterday, November 8th or whatever, 7th, it's 70 degrees outside, sunny, man. You know, it doesn't get better than that.
No, it's pretty special. All right, I'm going to wrap this up the way I asked Alec Marenko last on Lobo Talk. You're going to be around for a while, theoretically. The future of the program, right? And you know, Alec's got a lot of love for what he thinks this is going to be. Obviously, he's a big fan of the coaching staff and what's going to go forward. I know Lobo fan asks you this a lot, and we get it all the time. For the Lobo fan who's listening, why should they buy in and believe in the future of this program, that it's on the right trajectory?
I think just all the staff changes we made this past off season. You know, our offense is looking better than ever. You know, we're averaging about 396 yards a game. You know, that's 100 times better than what we were doing last year, man. You know,
yeah, no doubt.
We're averaging 70, what Frank said, but you know, I feel like it's looking promising. You know, we're going to keep recruiting, keep getting guys out of the portal on the defensive side too, and you know, we got a lot more guys buying in. You know, that's really what a good team stems from, is guys buying into the program. You know, not caring about themselves, but caring about the team. And if we just keep continuing that, man, things will be looking great in the near future.
It's interesting. Hey, appreciate the conversation. Safe travels to Idaho. And again, tell your mom it was me, and I apologize. I own it. And
thank you, guys.
My bad. Trace, be well. Thanks for the time.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Trace Bruckler, Lobo tight end. It's interesting, JJ. Guys buying. He said that a number of times. We need more guys buying in. Is that a recruiting thing? Is that like we got to get the right guys in the room? Because I don't know that I've heard that before.
It sounds like there's, even at 3-6 with some of the frustration, that he still believes that guys are locked in.
Yeah.
This year.
All right, Jerry Palm's going to be with us from CBS Sports at 8:30. When we come back, we're going to go into the red zone. You still want to do that next? You get back there? Okay. And JJ's in Cali. I'm still sitting right here in downtown Borque. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. You're home for Sunday night, Monday night, and tonight football.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot! Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet! Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
Hi, I'm Steve Sunker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride barbecue chicken and ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Ball, big weekend coming up. Looking forward to talking to him about the CFP standings as well. But now, DC is put together in the red zone.
How much you want to make a bet I can throw a football over the mountains?
Are you crazy? I'm saying you're a football player.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to Tom Brady this game.
You're in the red zone with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Let's go, baby!
It's first and goal.
All right, the Chicago Bears and Carolina Panthers made a huge deal last year before the draft that resulted in Bryce Young getting picked number 1 overall by the Panthers. On the other hand, the Bears got the Panthers' first-round pick in 2024, which would currently be the 2nd overall pick. So who won this trade, and what do you expect from each team in the future, meaning 24 and beyond?
Bears won the trade. I mean, they get a player, they get the pick, and as of right now, I mean, the Panthers got Bryce Young, gave everything up. I mean, to me right now, this is easy. Unless Bryce Young becomes what they need him to be, and he's not close to that, Bears won the trade.
It is the Chicago Bears because they have the ability to move on and select a quarterback if they deem that whoever coming out is better than Justin Fields. They have a wide receiver 1 caliber player out of it. And for the Carolina Panthers, you need to see something. I don't think you're getting an elite ceiling out of Bryce Young. I just keep thinking, like, if he comes out Baker Mayfield,
they're lucky.
You're feeling good right now, but that is the last thing that you were thinking when you took Bryce Young number 1 overall.
2nd and goal.
Ready, down, put.
Well, speaking of the Bears and Panthers, both teams are having a tough year, but there's still games to play, including this evening on Thursday Night Football. So what is the one thing that you'll be paying attention to most this evening that will make Thursday Night Football a little more watchable?
Lobo basketball. I'll have Lobo basketball against St. Mary's on another screen. I got a big meeting that is going on. There should be some pizza and maybe a beer. And I got DJ Moore on a fantasy team. I want to see if Bryce Young can improve. JJ hit it in the very first segment today. Bryce Young, this is the game tonight. National TV, where everybody's going to be starting, or at least national Stream V, where everybody's going to be watching. But yeah, for me, it'll be Lobo basketball versus St. Mary's. Oh,
absolutely. Watching Lobos versus St. Mary's, you're listening to me doing the Pepper 9
100%.
game. You know, there's so much going on, but when it comes to the NFL, to me, it would be, all right, you just paid a dude on your defense $100 million after giving him a 2nd-round pick. Get to Bryce Young. Go show out. Montez Sweat. I'm putting the over-under at 1.5 sacks. Go get me 2 sacks tonight. I just gave you $100 million.
3rd and goal.
All right, fast forward to this weekend. The Browns visit the Ravens for an AFC North rivalry game this Sunday. What will the headline be on Monday after this clash of playoff contenders?
Ravens grind out tough division win, continue to cement themselves as Super Bowl contenders.
Brown out in Baltimore. Ravens fly by Cleveland for first place. That's what it was. They're going to, yeah.
4th and goal.
Did I stutter? Hear me.
The fast version. Okay, so 49ers visit Jacksonville this weekend with the hopes of turning things around after 3 straight losses. What will the biggest key to victory be for the slumping 49ers?
Don't turn over the football. How much better did they get coming out of the bye? They haven't won in a month. They've just moved their defensive coordinator from the booth down to the field, thinking somehow that's going to change things. As much as everything's on Brock Purdy, they're giving up points. And that great San Francisco defense hasn't been great. And let's see what they do coming out of a bye against Trevor Lawrence, who Jacksonville's coming off a bye too, right? So they're both coming off of a bye. How do they do against an offense that I think is starting to find its way? Travis Etienne has scored, I believe, 2 touchdowns in like every game this season. I'm kidding, but most of them. How do they control what's becoming a good receiving core with Christian Kirk and Calvin Ridley and everybody else they've got there? I think it's almost more on San Francisco's defense. I can't believe I'm saying that to turn them around.
Help is on the way. Chase Young, now a part of that pass rush for the 49ers. Deebo Samuel back offensively. Brock Purdy is getting some help. We wanted to see him fight through some adversity. It wasn't great, but now he has a chance to get back out there with his full complement of starting offensive playmakers, be the guy that we've seen him be, which is be effective, make throws when he's got his dudes, and they have to do that this weekend. I think we're going to look at that defense. You are right. Against a Jaguars team that, this is a big just prove-it game for them. Trevor Lawrence, we're talking about them being contenders in the AFC. Can Christian Kirk go off? Can Calvin Ridley get going? Can you run the football against that front 7? But help is on the way for San Francisco.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good stuff, man. What's the headline in the Browns Ravens game? What do you got? Brown. I mean, I had Brown out in Cleveland. Ravens.
Yeah, I think it's definitely Brown out in Cleveland was good because I think that defense that they're about to make a statement.
Both of those defenses are really good. I mean, both those
They are.
defenses are terrific.
That whole AFC North is insane.
Yeah. What are you shaking? I saw you shaking your head. No?
No, I think the Baltimore-Cleveland game, it's going to be like 17-14. It's going to be ugly. It's going to be tight. It's Deshaun Watson, Lamar Jackson, one big play in the fourth quarter. Who can make it?
All right, when we come back, college football. Jerry Palm from CBS Sports is with us. I want to talk to him about maybe he could help us understand why Washington is behind Florida State in the college football playoff standings, and the latest on Michigan. And coming from Big Ten country, really excited to talk to Jerry today. So we'll do that when we come back here on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. Hey, maybe you think your neighborhood's safe from crime, then a break-in happens way too close to home. Aaron Jones owns IPS, International Protective Service, and they protect homes and businesses, including mine. They have for years. If you can't watch your home or business 24/7, let IPS be another set of eyes for you. They provide standing guards or 24-hour patrols with highly trained armed officers, and they respond quickly to your alarms. It's another layer of security, and it gives you peace of mind. Call them at 505-897-2420, 505-897-2420, or you can see what they do online at ipsglobal.com. IPS, passionate about making Albuquerque better and a safer place to live and work.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
You ready, Spout? You ready?
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Sunker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but But no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
For surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
See if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
Radio KKOB, that's a big game for Lobo basketball. But we got football going, and there's so much going on. We talk every Thursday with one of the best in the business, Jerry Palm from CBS Sports, who joins us on The Sports Animal. Good morning, Jerry. How you living? Let me do that again. There you go. Hi, Jerry.
Hello.
I'm learning how to push buttons. I'm new.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, no, I'm new at this whole thing. It's a whole new thing. Hey, I want to start off with the college football playoff standings. We've had a lot of conversation around here, and we're struggling out west understanding a Oregon team who has victories over. I'm sorry, Washington team who has victories over Oregon and Utah and a Pac-12 schedule, and is behind Florida State in the college football playoff standing, whose best victory is over a 3-loss LSU. Help me understand why that is.
That's a good question. And I actually thought Washington would be ahead of them this week. Washington, by the way, has got a bit of a backloaded schedule. I mean, it's a Pac-12 schedule, but, they've got 2 ranked opponents left on their schedule.
Yes.
It's inevitable that, well, first of all, it's not just your best wins. Florida State's schedule actually rates overall in the rankings of such a thing better than Washington does at the moment. But, they've got Miami left, who's not bad. They're 6-3. That's not a bad team.
In Florida.
But then they play North Alabama, which is going to kill them in terms of strength of schedule. And
Florida.
And then they finish with Florida, and that's a 500-ish team. So Florida's strength of schedule is definitely coming down. Washington is on its way up with 2 ranked teams left before they play the Apple Cup. So, I actually wrote about this. I thought Washington would pass them this week. It is inevitable. If both teams finish undefeated, Washington will definitely be ahead. That will be a battle for seeding in the playoff, not selection, because if they're both undefeated, they'll both get in.
Can a 1-loss Pac-12 champion, that would be the scenario Washington runs the table, although, look, man, there's a long way to go, and Oregon runs the table, they meet each other, and Oregon beats Washington in the championship game. Can a 1-loss Pac-12 champ get in?
They can?
Oh,
yes.
Yeah.
But it depends on who the competition is.
Well,
but 12-1 Oregon's going to be a pretty strong candidate. if you got 12-1 Texas, that's a good candidate as well with that win at Alabama. That will be the win at Alabama is right now the best win any of these teams has in contention, and will probably still be that at the end. But because it's at Alabama,
right.
Oregon-Washington neutral is obviously a very good win as well. But Texas winning at Alabama is still going to be the best win anyone has at the end of this thing that's got one loss and is competing as a conference champion for a spot in the playoffs. So I have had Texas ahead of Oregon. I'm wavering on that at the end. But Texas's schedule is they don't have a ton of ranked teams, or certainly not other highly ranked teams in the Big 12. But the top of the Big 12 after them, it's got good teams, and it's going to have probably 2 or 3, top 25 level teams, if not, chasing the top 10 like Oregon and Washington are. And the Pac-12 is actually pretty similar, other than they have 2 teams in the top 10. It's pretty similar, and Texas is really hurt by Oklahoma's loss in regard to trying to chase a spot in the playoff at 12-1.
Which we talked about and kind of called last week, Oklahoma State beating them in Bedlam. He's Jerry Palm.
That was my upset of the week.
Yeah, yours and mine both. Jerry Palm, CBS Sports, is with us on the Sports Animal.
Jerry, does the Big Ten do anything when it comes to the Michigan scouting scandal, and how do you feel the number 3 Wolverines will do at number 10 Penn State this weekend?
I think they'll win, but it'll easily be their toughest opponent so far. And I mean, just not even close. But these are 2 really good defensive teams, so it's probably going to be a slugfest. But Michigan is ultimately going to be able to move the football against Penn State, and this is a game that's probably going to be the winner's going to be in the low 20s. But I like Michigan to win. They're just better. I mean, Penn State just has trouble winning games like this, home or away, and I don't expect this one to be much different. The question, I think, is going to be whether or not Jim Harbaugh is actually on the sidelines for.
What should happen? I mean, we had a conversation earlier. It's like, man, every other sport you can scout. Now, look, they cross the line, dressing a dude up in Central Michigan gear and put him on the sidelines, the video stuff.
Well, we don't even know. I'm not buying 100% that is true.
Okay.
that has not been confirmed, and you know how easy it is to fake pictures.
No doubt.
But all of the other stuff is enough. They don't need that too. I mean, how does Central Michigan let that happen if it's true?
Right.
But here, I mean, ultimately, Harbaugh ends up getting suspended. The Big Ten is likely to do that today. That's probably going to end up in court. I don't know how quickly they can get that adjudicated, but it's a mess. And now I guess there are people in Michigan complaining that Ohio State and Rutgers gave Purdue Michigan signals for the Big Ten championship game last year for all the good it did them.
Right.
And that they're saying, well, that's basically the same thing. Ohio State and Rutgers were doing in-person scouting for Purdue. Well, Purdue didn't ask them to do it.
Just allow teams to send a scout, for crying out loud. I mean, every other sport in the world, you're allowed to send a scout. You can go watch the next team play.
Right. You know why they don't allow that at the NCAA is because of the financial.
Right, but that's antiquated too now, and that was 20-something years ago. And I don't.
Well, anyways, but whether or not the rule is good now is irrelevant.
Fair enough. The rule was there. Yeah, he's Jerry Palm,
and that's how I feel about James Madison too.
Yeah. Well,
James Madison, signed up, knew what they were signing up for.
But they're going to get in, Jerry.
So,
I think that there's a lot of noise about that. I think the system's going to fall short, and James Madison's going to get in by rule.
They will be first in line. We're not going to have 82 eligible teams. They're going to get into a bowl game.
I agree with that. Jerry Palm, CBS Sports, is with us on the Sports Animal.
Well, Jerry, you look at a team sitting there at number 2 in Georgia. They're hosting Ole Miss, and it kind of feels like Georgia just flying under the radar a little bit, just doing their thing. How good is this year's Georgia team, and what do you think of that matchup?
I don't think they're as good as past Georgia the last 2 years because their defense is not the dominant force it has been the last 2 years. They're giving up 21 to Mizzou. They gave up, like 20 to Kentucky, and not so much to Florida. But the the teams that they're not just beating teams up, defensively like they have in the past. Now, their offense is still pretty good, and they're winning, and these are mostly comfortable wins. I mean, Missouri they beat by 9, and they get Mississippi this week, and that's a pretty good team. And they're 20-point favorites, and I'm thinking, they haven't beaten teams by 20, like not teams like this. Now, maybe they're probably capable of it. Maybe they will, but gosh, that just feels like an awfully big number for this game. I'm not betting against Georgia at home, but still, or picking against Georgia at home. But that 3-touchdown line sounds pretty big.
All right, Army beats Air Force, so Air Force is most likely out of contention, and maybe the Mountain West is for the New Year's 6 berth for the Group of 5. Tulane gets by East Carolina by 3, a 1-win East Carolina team. If Tulane slips, who's next in line? James Madison isn't eligible even if they get into a bowl game. Is it Liberty? Like, who's next in line?
Air Force, the Mountain West again.
Okay.
Liberty's schedule is so bad. It's like one of the 10 worst in college football because Conference USA is not that good, and they didn't play anybody outside the league. So I just don't see a path for Liberty. I think it goes back to the Mountain West champion, depending on who Tulane ends up getting beat by. But we'll have to see. I mean, you can't entirely rule out Liberty, but I don't think they're getting much traction in terms of discussion among the committee.
Yeah, I think that's right. All right. I got a text asking you this question, so I'll read it because it says, ask Jerry where New Mexico State might play a bowl game, please.
Oh, gosh. Any of the Conference USA Bowls. So where did I have them this
You probably
week?
have them in New Mexico. You had them in New Mexico.
Yeah. Well, certainly that's an option.
Yeah.
And a good option for the bowl, I would imagine, right? You'd like to have a local team that's relatively local, and that's a chance to draw fans. So I would say that's probably the best, most likely option for New Mexico State is your game.
Yeah.
But they could be in any of the Conference USA Bowls. They could end up outside the Conference USA Bowl system if they've got enough eligible teams, or ESPN just feels like doing it because we know that ESPN can do kind of whatever they want with these games.
Well, and they have
as you saw with your game last year.
You and I had some interesting conversations about that one.
Yeah. That's the way it is. And they took Baylor out of the Big 12, rotation. I mean, when you televise almost all of the games and you own a bunch, at least a dozen of the games, then you have a lot to say in what these matchups are going to be. So there are
they end up being
contracts and stuff like that, but basically ESPN will decide whatever it wants to.
And they end up being beneficial for everybody. They end up getting better.
I mean, that's why they do it, right?
Sure.
I mean, they're not doing it just to be, obstinate. They're doing it because it's something that works out well for not just them, but the teams involved.
100%. All right, lastly, the easiest bet on the board last week was the over on USC Washington, right? I think they hit it by the first quarter.
Yeah, although I would also say the Oklahoma State.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Not to win necessarily, but certainly covering a touchdown.
All right, so it's 73.5 at Oregon. Oregon plays defense. I think Oregon plays defense maybe better than Washington. The over-under 73.5. USC at Oregon. SC fired their defensive coordinator, so somehow they're going to get better. Bet the over?
Yeah, because Oregon's got a chance to put 50-something on the board, and even though they're a good defensive team, it's not like they're going to shut out USC. Mm-hmm. They might just hold them into the mid-20s. I like that over.
At what point does
it may not get to close? It may not chase 100 like some of those games have, like last week. But I think it'll get to at least 80.
How long can he survive without bringing in just a high-profile Lincoln Riley at USC? They've got to address defense. They've got unbelievable athletes.
Yeah, it's not the talent. Yeah, talent's not the problem on that side of the ball.
So what's the answer?
They just don't. The technique their techniques they're just floppy. And I don't know. They're not well coached. That's for sure, and that's been obvious for most of 2 years. So, but the defensive coordinator, Alex, Greenwich, was a friend. He's reluctant to let him go, and that somebody over his head must have said, you know what, either him or you.
Yeah. Yep, that's how that works.
They're going to go out and get somebody who knows what they're doing.
Yeah. All right, my friend. Enjoy the weekend. Always appreciate the conversation. We will catch you next Thursday. Read him every day. We're on CBSSports.com. Follow him on the X, the former Bird app, at JP Palm CBS. You going anywhere this weekend?
Purdue.
Of course.
Home game.
Enjoy.
First home game in a while. Well, yeah, first
What's
home
the
game
weather?
in a while.
Is it chilly? Is it chilly back there yet?
Today is actually kind of nice. It's going to be in the mid-50s and light winds at Purdue, so you'll take that for November.
That's perfect. Enjoy it. Put on that New Mexico Bowl jacket that I sent you, and you'll get a new Isleta New Mexico Bowl jacket soon. Jerry's all swagged out with all the.
I do.
Bowl
I have a fair amount of New Mexico Bowl stuff, which I really appreciate.
As you should. All right. Enjoy the week. We'll catch you next week, Jerry. Thanks.
All right, thanks.
Be well. Jerry Palm, CBSSports.com. Well, I mean, every year, Jerry spends a lot of time with us now.
Well, yeah, we can't quite do what McAfee does for Aaron Rodgers.
That's right.
Him, but the least we can do is get him some bowl swag because we might know a guy. I know someone was like, "Hey, ask Jerry about bowl games," but I think we know a guy too that can answer some of those questions when it comes to bowl games.
Well, he spends so much time with us, all the way from football through basketball, like literally from September through April, and so I sent him a box of bowl swag.
And I think we might be onto something. I like at the end, kind of like Jerry's best bet of the weekend type of deal.
Well, he hit it. But he and I were on the same one on Bedlam last week, right? On Oklahoma State.
Because he does a weekly column where he does cover some of his favorite things. So hyping that at the end, I like that.
All right. All right, 505-246-0610. I want to react to some of the stuff you talked about, the Harbaugh stuff especially, and his answer to the question that we're all asking out west, why Washington isn't ahead of Florida State. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal, your home for Sunday night, Monday night, and tonight football.
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom. Sweet.
Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction and safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out.
she'd been drinking. This one, both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us, and my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom. Sweet?
Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Rosendo Najar here, President of Carpenters Local 1319. Juan Junior Gonzalez, Warden of Local 1319. Some people have a misconception about what a carpenter does. The carpentry trade entails more than just woodworking or building houses. We are responsible for 85% of a construction job site. Everything from the superintendent on down. We have a great apprenticeship program. The information can be found on our website.
Florida State ranked above Washington in the college football playoff standings. One is Florida State's 4, and Washington is 5, and of course the top 4 get in. And look, it's going to sort itself out. So I'm not too worried about it. But he said Florida State's strength of schedule is actually pretty good. So they played LSU, who's a 3-loss team. They played Clemson, and I guess Duke is probably up there. LSU, Southern Miss, Boston College, Clemson, Virginia Tech, Duke, and Wake Forest, and Pitt. And I'm like, okay, I mean, it's fine. But Washington's been going through the Pac-12. Boise State, I guess, isn't a great strength of schedule thing. They scheduled Michigan State, who's not very good. Cal, Arizona's good. The Oregon win. But they finish up with Utah. They played USC last week, Utah, Oregon State, and Washington State. Were you surprised when he told you Florida State's strength of schedule was so good?
Yes, I was surprised. When you read through it, you can understand why the metrics might favor Florida State right now, but it's pretty simple. Win out, they're in. They're going to jump Florida State. They got the better wins.
If Washington State wins out, and it might not even be Florida State they jump, it would be the loser of the Ohio State-Michigan game, assuming that Michigan beats Penn State this week.
So because Florida State could do the same thing, just hold serve, stay in there. Michigan, Ohio State, that's all eyes on that one. And you wonder, too, moving forward, the Big Ten, are they still doing divisions? Or did they scrap that? Because that's something for them would probably work out moving forward.
To scrap the division thing?
Yeah.
The Big Ten is still doing divisions. Yeah. The fly in the ointment here, and we didn't get into this with Jerry, and we will next week, is what if Georgia loses in the assume Georgia beats Ole Miss today, this weekend. Now they could lose. Ole Miss is ranked 9th in the country, but let's assume Georgia goes into the SEC championship game undefeated, defending champion, two-time defending champion, and let's say Alabama beats them in the SEC championship game. Not out of the realm, right?
It's not.
Then what happens? So let's just say you got a one-loss Alabama SEC champ, a one-loss Georgia who's been number one all year, an undefeated Big Ten champion, an undefeated Florida State ACC champion, and an undefeated, theoretically, Washington Pac-12 champion. So and one loss, potentially Texas. Then what happens? How you fitting four into that? Would it be Georgia and Alabama because they're both in the SEC? And then it would be the undefeated Ohio State or Michigan. And then who's number four?
I'm fine.
Right? Right? And that's a thoroughly realistic conversation, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It always seems to be, like, when we get to the end of the four, it's pretty clear-cut.
Well, it's always worked its way out. Yeah. No, I think you and I, as much as you and I have been on different sides of this, in DC, I've always liked, I've thought the four has worked. Right? And understanding I'm a bowl guy, and I get that. But every year, when we get down to it, it's pretty clear-cut. Now, five always is going to have an argument, but it's worked every year, hasn't it?
It's been pretty clean, yes.
Yeah. All right, we're going to reset you at the top of the hour. 9 o'clock is the top of the hour. That's what that means. Got a ton of emails and correspondence from you that we got to get through. You can respond to what Jerry had to say, NFL tonight, and how the Lobos can beat St. Mary's. This is a big one, boys and girls. It's over on News Radio KKB tonight. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal, your home for Sunday night and Monday night and tonight football.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Sweet Rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety.
Tonight, take on 23rd ranked St. Mary's. It's the opening drive. Good morning to you. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. Ladies will be in Malibu. The voice of the Lobos, JJ Buck, will have the call. He's with us from beautiful Southern California. Good day, sir. How you living this morning, by the way? You all right up there? You got it's super early. When you go west, the 6 o'clock thing comes early, doesn't it?
Comes very quickly on you.
Yeah, it does. All right, we're going to get into what you got with the ladies and what the men got. New Mexico State won their first game under new head coach Jason Hooten last night. Their home opener, they beat Sul Ross State 84-49 at the Pan Am Center last night. And do you know what Sul Ross State's nickname is, by the way? Like they're the Wildcats or the Bulldogs or whatever. JJ, you have any idea?
The Sul Ross State Swingers.
So there's 2 ties to UNM with Sul Ross State. One of them, Doug Davalos, the son of former athletic director Rudy Davalos, used to be the head coach at Sul Ross State. And Sul Ross State is called the Lobos. So the Aggies beat the Lobos last night, 84-49. You think they had a big party down there?
Oh, yeah.
They love beating the Lobos. You were led last night, New Mexico State, by 15 points from Jordan Rawls off the bench. And you're getting to know them. Good win, but they just need to get a win, right? It's a Division III school, and they rolled. Of course, on the text line, it says, wow, Jeffy, did they really play a Division III team? I didn't even know there was Division III. The basketball scheduling philosophy, evidently the same as football down there in the land of many lawsuits. Go Aggies, LOL. JJ, I refer to you.
See, they played in their opener?
They went to Kentucky, played at Rupp Arena. Exactly right. All right, how Lobos beat St. Mary's tonight? I think there's a couple of things. I think they do it with an experienced backcourt. I'm interested to see how JT Toppin responds in this environment. It's not a huge crowd. It is a tight gym, a loud, crazy environment. This game will mean something to St. Mary's because the Lobos went in there last year and snapped the win streak. I think the key here is as basic as keys get in basketball. I mean, A, make shots. B, don't turn the ball over. And C, I really think this against a big St. Mary's team, how do they do rebounding the basketball?
Absolutely. And when you look at the Lobos, the difference for them this year is the interior defense. And that's a big thing with Nelly Jr. Joseph, JT Toppin just being athletic, crashing the boards. The minutes they get out of the post defensively is going to be huge in this game for the Lobos tonight because St. Mary's, they control everything. That's their style. They slow it down. They force you to play isolation basketball. They force you into the tempo that they want. And, this backcourt can get theirs at times, and you address it, the ball movement, the efficiency there. I know that there's a lot of people that are looking, and the Lobos are still trying to find themselves just because Nelly Jr. Joseph's only been here a short amount of time. I think they have a great chance to compete in this game.
Yeah.
I do. I love the experience that they have in the backcourt. And when you're not playing everything through Nelly Jr. Joseph, you're like, dude, just defend and rebound for us at a high level. Get the ball to where it needs to go. There's a ton of experience on this Lobos roster. This sets up to be a fantastic back and forth battle.
So this is a program that's averaging 26.3 wins a year over the last 15 non-COVID seasons, averaging over 26 wins a season. And JJ, you and I both watched a little bit of St. Mary's. Aiden Mulhaney is terrific, and it's the kind of guy that we say this all the time: don't judge the book by the cover, right? You're playing pickup at the Y, and you see Aiden Mulhaney. It's like, all right, I got that dude, and he torches you. He may not look like the assassin that he is, but he is terrific.
Yeah, and that's how St. Mary's, they stay consistent because they develop players, they get good players into the program, they have experience, and when you look at what the Lobos are doing, it's the same thing. It's like they're going for experience plus development to find a level of consistency in the new era of college basketball.
All right, 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. Come on in and be part of the show. Rudy, you're on the Sports Animal. Good morning, Rudy.
Good morning. So, what really bugs me is that this game isn't on national TV. I don't know how this couldn't get sold. You got to watch it on ESPN Plus. And my issue with ESPN Plus is I've never been able to sign up for that thing. Every time I try, something happens. I don't know. There's some glitch between how I have no idea. What I need is an 11-year-old to come over and log me on, I guess. Because I'm with Xfinity. There's no reason why I shouldn't be able to get this broadcast, but I've tried and tried and tried, and I've thrown my hands up.
Come on over. I got it on 4 devices. So
there you go. Okay, well, I'll be getting your address.
Yeah.
It's going to be a classic game. I really think that, first of all, St. Mary's just wants to kick our booty, and I think that makes for a good game, and I think Pitino understands that, and that's why this is a good early test for this team. I would feel better about it if Nelly Jr. Joseph had more time with the team, but it is what it is. Hey, have you seen this from Sports Source Analytics? Sports analytics platform company, the top 10 football subdivision college football offenses with the highest positive percentage change between points per possession scored in 22 and 23.
Well, New Mexico was number 1 going into last week.
They still are number 1.
Yeah.
They still are number 1.
Like at plus 162 or something from last year. But that just shows you how bad it was before. Like it was really bad the last couple of years.
Absolutely. But what it does show is that there's progress, and it shows that the offense isn't the problem, and it's getting complementary football. And that's what they need to do to win this Saturday. If they have any chance of upsetting Boise State, it has to be complementary. The offense has to complement the defense. And I think that special teams will probably show a lot better because that's a matter of pride for Danny. And I know that really hurt him to see that performance last week by the special teams.
Yeah.
My final thought, sign stealing, it's been going on in the Big Ten forever. When I was a third-year law student and we went to Columbus to play, there were all kinds of rumors that Ohio State knew our offensive and defensive signals.
I don't think sign stealing is something that's isolated to Ann Arbor. It's just not. Now, I think you would even and know that's one of your alma maters. You can't dress a dude up and put him on the other guy's sideline, and you can't use video equipment to videotape their sign stealing. Right? I mean, that's crossing the line, right?
Sure, but there's no evidence that information was used or conveyed to the coaching staff at the University of Michigan. This guy's kind of an outlier and a weird dude. He had a 600-page manifesto that he wrote. So that shows you that tells you all you need to know. I think he was a hanger-on, and Harbaugh threw him a bone, and the guy ran with it and did something that he shouldn't have done. And now, anytime you can throw shade at Michigan, people do. That's just how it is when you're number 1 and you've won more football games in the history of Division I than any other team.
Hey, before you go, I'm going to ask you a question because you went to law school, you got a degree from there. Odds that Jim Harbaugh is the coach there next year. I said 5. JJ said 60%.
I think that the hot rumor all over Ann Arbor was that he was going to leave and take J.J. McCarthy with him as the number 1 draft pick and go to the Raiders. So I don't know. I suppose it depends on how hard they come down on Harbaugh. because if they suspend him for the rest of the season, he's going to appeal that and coach out the rest of the season, and then just leave all that in his rearview mirror.
The Raiders or the Bears, dude? The Bears have the 1 and 2. They could have the 1. The Raiders aren't going to have the number 1 pick.
No, but I'm talking about the number 1 pick for the Raiders.
Okay.
The first player they would take is J.J. McCarthy if he's still on the board.
Got it. All right, man. Enjoy the day.
Yeah, take care.
See ya. All right. Hey, got an interesting text from Jerry Palm, JJ. Said, and I didn't even see this. He said, meant to ask you on the air, but we ran out of time. How is Fresno State an underdog at San Jose State? And I'm like, what? San Jose State's a 1-point favorite, JJ, over Fresno State in San Jose. And I don't know that I had an answer for him. I mean, San Jose State, look, they're 4-5. They've won 3 in a row. They're way better than what people thought when they came in here. They beat New Mexico, Utah State, and Hawaii the last 3 weeks. They put up 52, 42, and 35. In a loss the week before, they put up 27 on Boise State. Like, I think they're better than people thought, but I don't have a good answer for them as to why they are a favorite over Fresno State this weekend. Do you?
Oh, that's one where, for some reason, there's a negative reaction right now to Fresno State. That is still in contention, to play in the Mountain West Championship game.
Fresno State won a hard-fought game last week against Boise State, and I get it, Boise State's 4-5, but Boise State has lost 4 games by 12 points. 3 last-second losses to Memphis, to UCF, and then the Hail Mary crazy one to Colorado State, and then they lose by 7 to Fresno State, who you think might be the best team in the league. That one baffles me. What don't I know? Is their quarterback out or something, or what don't I know that Fresno State would be a dog at San Jose?
If anything, I would thought this would be maybe 2.5, 3.5 in favor of Fresno State.
Yep. Look, San Jose State's playing better, and I think we all saw. I mean, they ran the ball. They got Chevin Cordero. You look at their early season. Okay, they lost to SC. They lost to Oregon State. Well, everybody did. I mean, all the teams of Pac-12 are doing that too, right? So yeah, that one I didn't have an answer for. All right. 505-246-0610. You can keep them coming. I'm going to get you a bunch of your correspondence. Text line is busy at that number. Emails Jeff at sportsanimal. Whoa, look at them all. sportsanimалabq.com. JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. Come on in and be part of the show. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night and Monday night and Thursday night football. Hey, holidays are coming, and you're looking for a great gift idea, huh? How about On the Spot Automotive Detailing? It is a great gift. I've done it many times. I just gave it for a birthday gift recently. It goes over as a hit every time. What is it? Well, it's getting your car detailed at your convenience, where and when it's convenient for you. What does that mean? Okay, detailing. Inside, outside, around the rims, under the hood, like that's what the car dealerships do. Remember the day you took it off the lot, how it felt and smelled, and it was fun to get into? That's what it is. Convenience, they come to you at the office. I don't know where their office is. It doesn't matter. They know where mine is. So they come to you while you're working. They're outside. You get a text. You go outside, and boom, your vehicle is detailed. Looks, feels, smells brand new. Not to mention they also offer window tint services for your vehicle. Call them at 505-859-2859. 505-859-2859, or you can book online at otsdetailing.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot! Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet? Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
Albuquerque's leader in sports is Pro View. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Rosendo Najar here, president of Carpenters Local 1319. Juan Junior Gonzalez, warden of Local 1319. Some people have a misconception about what a carpenter does. The carpentry trade entails more than just woodworking or building houses. We are responsible for 85% of a construction job site. Everything from the superintendent on down. We have a great apprenticeship program. The information can be found on our website.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop.
I am Michael Azera, midfielder for New Mexico United. Clark's support for the United is an example of their commitment to local partnerships. Clark's understands that paying it forward develops a better team and ultimately better community partner.
When you need pet food and supplies,
Clark's is always the best shot.
Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations.
Go United!
ClarksPets.com.
Bumper ready to go, like the hater bumper. Like, is it? I mean, JJ's in California, by the way. He's got Lobo women's basketball tonight on the Sports Animal. Lobos and Pepperdine Waves. 6:30 is when he hits the air. And then I think 7:30 over on News Radio KKOB. Rob and Hunter will hit the air. They get Lobo men against St. Mary's. But JJ, we had a caller. His name is Edward. He calls every once in a while. He had a really good idea on this like hater whatever, all the hater email. You tell me when you're ready, because I'm good. Let me give you this one though. Before we get there, this is an email. JJ, you can answer this. HB said Pepperdine 259. Their RPI, Pepperdine's women's basketball RPI last year was 259. So it says, Jeffy, this is an easy win for the Lady Lobos tonight, right? JJ?
No, because they were 259. They have a first-year coach. They have 10 new players, 4 of them from P6 schools. They looked really good beating UC Irvine, the team that was the defending Big West regular season champs, picked second coming into this season on Tuesday night. They're long at every position, got a really good first-year point guard, so no, it's not going to be a walkthrough.
All right. You can listen to that game tonight. Lobos are going to get a good test on the road in Malibu against the Waves. Text line, it says, hearing Lobo fans dog the Aggies when they whoop us at every sport every year angers me. Okay. And I think that's from a Lobo. Is that from a Lobo fan? I don't even know who that's from, to be honest with you. Who's whooping who at every sport every year, JJ?
It's not every sport.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. All right, remember when we were having this conversation earlier about the spread on the Cowboys-Giants game? And for those of you who missed it, the spread on the Giants-Cowboys game with Danny DeVito, or what's his name? Tommy DeVito? Tommy DePalma? What was it? Tommy DeVito, right? Do you guys know the DeVito? Like, you guys all know who Danny DeVito is, right? He played Louis De Palma on Taxi.
Of course.
Okay.
The Penguin.
Yeah, that too. And the Penguin.
Always Sunny in Philadelphia, probably a better reference than Taxi these days.
Yeah, that's fair. No, that's fair. You're right. You're right. But his biggest role was, I mean, that's what made his career, was Taxi. But it was way, way, way back in the day. But
Arnold Schwarzenegger's brother.
And twin.
Yeah, that's it.
17-point spread. When was the last time you saw a 17-point spread? And you asked which way would I go, and I think I would take the Cowboys. It says, Jeff and JJ, you guys had the same exact conversation when the Cowboys played Arizona with Dobbs. Please don't jinx my boys again. It's from Ronnie. Sorry, Ronnie. It was our fault. Dan, how you feeling about that? Good morning, Dan.
Hey, guys, how you doing? Hey, listen, I just want to comment on the Cowboys last week against Philly. You know, it showed that team, and I'll give it a grade, a letter grade. They're a B team. Yeah. They cannot beat any of these A teams on the road. We just saw in baseball where the Texas Rangers won, 16 in a row on the road?
Yeah.
Road Warriors are champions. The Dallas Cowboys are not champions. Are they contenders? They're contenders, but you know what? They'll go into the playoffs, and they'll lose down there. And I don't blame Dak Prescott at all. Here you go, man. I blame Mike McCarthy. Think about his reign as coach at Green Bay and the way the Green Bay Packers year in and year out win double-digit seasons and then fold up in the playoffs. And that's exactly what's going to happen in Dallas. Now, Cowboy fan, come this weekend. Don't call in Monday if the Cowboys win 41-10.
That's right.
Oh, we're back. Do yourselves a favor. Go to the local Stetson store and get that hat on your head adjusted to get blood flow to the brain. That's all I got, fellas. Have a good one.
Thank you, Dan. Great call. It's hard for me to blame McCarthy for that loss last week. I without due respect, Mike McCarthy didn't step out at the 2-yard line going in for the 2-point conversion, or he didn't throw the ball a half a yard short at the goal line, or right. I mean, at some point, Dak's got to execute. Was that Mike McCarthy's fault that they lost the other day?
Wasn't Dak's fault. He did not commit that foul when it was first and goal.
And that's as big as it gets. Look, you could point to a million things.
Yeah.
You're right.
But he's right on. That's who the Cowboys are. This is a team that has championship expectations, but they haven't taken a championship step. And that's why games like this are so big for their narrative. Now, ultimately, they're going to be judged in the postseason, but how can you believe in them in the postseason when they come up short in their big moments across the board?
That's what we've been saying the whole week. That's why I started Monday. Cowboys are really good. Dak Prescott is, to me, just like Tony Romo, very, very good quarterback. Yeah. And can't win the big one. Hasn't had that big moment. And look, at this point in his career, JJ, one moment isn't going to convince anybody. He's got to start having moments. And moments would have begun in Philadelphia last week if he converted on the 2-point conversion and didn't step out of bounds. Look, I'm not blaming. I mean, it's a bang bang, but guys make plays like that. If he throws the touchdown pass to the tight end, and the tight end ran a route half a yard short, the last play of the game, and you're right, man, they were first and goal. What was it, at the 5, and they got backed up on penalties, and then he throws underneath on the last play of the game. He had big numbers, dude. If he was on your fantasy football team, he probably won. He's likable. He's good. He beats the hell out of the Giants and the Commanders. And doesn't that sound like Tony Romo?
Yep.
Although Tony Romo never beat the Commanders, they beat the Redskins. But it's the same thing. Howard, how are you feeling about it? Hello, Howard.
I'm doing good. You know, I've never been one to drink the Cowboy Kool-Aid, no matter how diehard a Cowboy fan I am. Execution is what it boils down to. You know, on that last pass play, why does CeeDee Lamb set up short of the goal line when it's your last play? And you need to, there's 4 Philadelphia Eagle defenders around you. You're not going to fight through them. It boils down to execution in various places throughout the game. Execution can be blamed on the coach or the players or both. But everybody keeps talking about, they'll be in the playoffs and then they'll, lose first or second round, whatever, they'll be done. Look at the second half schedule and tell me that the playoffs are a lock for the Cowboys, because it's not.
Well, the next 3 weeks, after the next 3 weeks, it gets tough. The next 3 weeks, they better get fat.
So, it's the playoffs are just not a given. So everybody ought to pump the brakes and focus on making the playoffs first before you see how they do in the playoffs.
That's fair.
That's all I got.
It's good to hear you. Look, the Cowboys' back end of the schedule is going to get tough on them, but they get the Giants, the Panthers, the Commanders the next few weeks. Okay, they better get fat because the last 6, home versus Seattle, home versus the Eagles. They go to Buffalo on December 17th. Going to guess it'll be chilly. They go to Miami the next week. Probably won't be chilly. Then the Lions, and they finish with the Commanders. So after these next 3 weeks, it goes Seahawks, Eagles, Bills, Dolphins, Lions. Yeah, I mean, they better get fat the next few weeks, right?
They have to.
Well, they're going to make the playoffs. I believe they'll make the playoffs. I look at the NFC, and I'm not worried about a wild card coming out of the North, and I'm not worried about a wild card coming out of the South. Are you? So I got 3 wild cards that got to come from where? I mean, Seattle or San Francisco, who doesn't win, whoever doesn't win is going to be one of them. Dallas is going to be one of them, and then who's the next wild card team? Is it going to be Minnesota? Is it going to be Washington? Is it good? I mean, right? Where's the 7th seed coming from?
Well, and you could say, oh, the back end of the schedule is tough. We'll get there,
games.
But Miami hasn't beat anyone with a winning record yet. We believe that much in Buffalo, where the Cowboys can't win that game?
There's a lot. Everybody's
on the road.
Everybody except Kansas City. Yeah,
this is a stretch, and you're in position to make the playoffs. You got to win some games that people might not expect you to win. And let's go.
Kansas City, the Ravens. There's very few teams that you just go, yep. The Bengals probably right now. Did you see Miami's schedule? Next time they play a team with a winning schedule will be December 24th, the day before Christmas. Team with a winning record. They get the Raiders, the Jets, the Commanders, the Titans, the Jets next. And then their last 3 are Cowboys, Ravens, Bills. So they'll probably be in a spot for a playoff spot by the time they get to those last 3. They may not win one of the last 3. Cowboys, Ravens, Bills. But to your point, they have beaten nobody with a winning record. But if they hold form and they stay on brand and beat teams with losing records, they're going to go on a streak and start playing your Dolphins, and then we'll see what happens the last 3 weeks. All right, you want to get into some NBA? Did you see Giannis got ejected? What did Giannis do? Mild-mannered Giannis? They threw him out of the game last night? What could he have done? Oh, and the Lakers got run out by probably the worst team in the West. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night and Monday night and tonight football.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Rosendo Najar here, president of Carpenters Local 1319. Juan Junior Gonzalez, warden of Local 1319. Some people have a misconception about what a carpenter does. The carpentry trade entails more than just woodworking or building houses. We are responsible for 85% of a construction job site. Everything from the superintendent on down. We have a great apprenticeship program. The information can be found on our website.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot! Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom. Sweet? Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight. Boom. Boom!
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Seriously? You expect me to drive while you aren't wearing seatbelts?
What's the worst that can happen?
Seriously? Buckle up.
Okay.
Thank you.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
Thursday game day for the Lobos. They'll be in Moraga. The men will play St. Mary's. The ladies will be in Malibu. It's M California Day. JJ's living it up in Cali. You can get a nap after this. What do you got to do the rest of the day, by the way?
Go to shoot around, do some more notes.
What time's the nap?
Probably get a little workout in.
Oh, a little workout. How's the gym at the hotel? You seen it yet?
It's average.
All right. Yeah. Little In-N-Out burger somewhere along the way? Or are you going to go to Fat Burger? Are you going to go to Tommy's? What's the burger of choice?
I don't know what I'm going to do for lunch yet. I haven't decided. Nothing within walking distance, so I'll probably dash something.
Yeah, you could dash Tommy's. I know that. We did. Do the Tommy's thing if it's close. It's disgustingly good. I mean, after your workout and just get that greasy Tommy's chili into you.
You got to refuel the body.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. All right, NBA last night. I guess the story is Giannis, right? Ejected in the third quarter for his second unsportsmanlike technical foul. The Bucks were winners over the Pistons, 120-118. So he got a second technical for taunting a defender after a dunk. There was 9 minutes left in the third quarter. He was called for his first technical for under 4 minutes left in the half. So according to crew chief Rodney Mont, this is the referee, on the play, Giannis drives to the basket and he thinks he gets fouled. Then he approaches the game official and uses profanity, which is an unsportsmanlike technical foul and was issued at that time, end quote. That was the first one, JJ. Mr. Mott explains the second technical. Quote, after the dunk, Giannis turns to his opponent and taunts him, and a taunting technical foul was called, and unsportsmanlike, and he was ejected from the game per rule because 2 unsportsmanlike technical fouls, you are ejected from the game, end quote. Your thoughts on Giannis Antetokounmpo being ejected for taunting?
It was soft. The second one was ridiculous. The second one is you need to go take a timeout if you're an NBA referee and you throw someone out of the game for that. He dunked, kind of looked at the dude, flexed him on a little bit. Took 2 steps
at him. He did take 2 steps
ran away.
into him. Yeah.
It's professional basketball. As long as he's not drop kicking that dude in the face after a dunk, you move on.
Or
it was a soft technical foul. We don't need that in professional sports. We don't need refs being that soft in professional sports.
He kind of took 2 steps at him, got into him a little bit, and that was it. I think the rules are there for a reason, and I don't dislike. I mean, there's got to be a line, right? There's got to be a line, but the line's got to be well more defined than you're throwing out probably the best player in the game for something. And I agree with you. as soft as that. So it was third quarter. They come down on a break, and Giannis goes coast to coast, goes in, dunks one-handed, took 2 steps, kind of looked at the dude, and went away. And it's soft. And look, it was in Milwaukee. They see him all the time. But who are you there to see? Am I there to see you, Mr. Official? Or am I there to see Giannis Antetokounmpo? And there's a line. That doesn't mean he can do anything he wants to do. But there's a line. And I don't think they crossed it. All right.
The story of last night, though, Jeff,
wasn't
Giannis. It was the Philadelphia 76ers. And the new lease on life that team has, the freedom that team is playing with, the fact that Tyrese Maxey can now become a star in the NBA alongside Joel Embiid, and they beat the Boston Celtics in what was a fantastic game, and the first time that those teams have played since the 76ers collapsed in the playoffs last
106, 103 was the number. Tyrese Maxey had 25. Joel Embiid had 27. And Tyrese Maxey is going to get to do his thing. The other part of the story last night, a little bit, was the return to Brooklyn of James Harden. And did you hear Ian Eagle's call? Ian Eagle is a great national announcer, but he is also the voice of the New Jersey, the Brooklyn Nets. And there was a point where he said, I saw it coming. Basically, James Harden threw the ball at the table. And Ian Eagle kind of caught it. It fell off the computer. The lady sitting next to him, his partner. But he said, I saw that coming. I knew it was coming. And it was, I don't know, the return of James Harden to Brooklyn. But what about the Lakers? All right, JJ, you and I talked about this. There's like almost one team that isn't a contender in the West, right? Basically one. And it's the Houston Rockets. I mean, everybody else you can, maybe the Spurs, you can make a case for that is a contender to go to the playoffs, correct?
That is correct.
The Rockets beat the Lakers last night 128-94. Lakers are now Anthony Davis is hurt. I don't know how hurt, but he's hurt. LeBron James admitted he doesn't know what to make of the team so far. Lakers are 3-5. They're 0-3 on their current road trip. Quote from LeBron, I don't have an assessment. I mean, we just can't build cohesion if we don't have our unit. It's that simple. It's just that we're very depleted on the injury side. We're 8 games in, dude. We're 8 games in.
Anthony Davis is a Hall of Famer of what could have been. Yes, he's a champion. We've seen him play at the highest levels, but he is so inconsistent and unavailable. Like, you're 8 games in the season and Anthony Davis is already not playing basketball. Like, LeBron James is supposed to be the one that is coasting a little bit through the first half of the season, trying to let the Lakers get some wins and so we can lock in. And that LeBron's the one that has to be out there 40-plus minutes already. And it's more of the same. It's what we come to expect. And I know Laker fans are always telling themselves, oh, it's going to be different now with Anthony Davis. It's not. He's going to have moments of, oh my goodness, this is why we think this is one of the best basketball players in the world. And then he's not going to be there.
Deutsch sent me an email. Anthony Davis is hurt already. Why would anybody be surprised, Jeffy? And I think that's right. You know, you just said a guy, how'd you describe him? Like the all potential, right? You know what it sounded like to me was Dwight Howard. But this guy is hurt all the time. Look, it's early.
Dwight Howard played, man.
Dwight Howard played.
He was always on the floor.
I agree. I'm not going to lose my mind because he's missing some games in November. But it's interesting to see them get run out of the built by the Houston Rockets and hear the whole thing with LeBron. Well, I don't know. Is LeBron going to fizzle in L.A.? Is his career... He's still playing at a really elite level. Okay, I'm not telling you he's not good. I'm not telling you he's not sensational. I mean, he's still that dude. And I know he's holding on to see where his son plays potentially next year if his son does play in the NBA. We're going to have to see what happens with Bronny, right? Some point, Father Time catches everybody. Is he just going to fizzle out in L.A.? I know he's trying to stack championships, and he's not. How does this thing end the next couple of years in L.A.? Because they're putting everything around them they think they can, whether it's Anthony Davis, whether whoever it is. And 8 games into a season, I'm not going to tell you it's lost. I'm not going to tell you they're done. That's hardly what I'm saying. They could win a championship. I wouldn't predict that. But how does this end? Is this because it feels like that guy's still in the league, but he's not the story. There's 5-10 more stories that I'm interested in the NBA before I'm interested in LeBron James and the Lakers.
Yeah, and that's actually great for the NBA. And for the Los Angeles Lakers, how does it end? I think it ends with them coming up just short, whether it's in the second round. Last year getting in the Western Conference Finals was not something you saw from this team. And I think that's where they're going to be, is they're going to be always nipping at the heels of doing something really great, but just coming up short. Because you look at the Western Conference right now, watching last night, Nikola Jokic and Steph Curry battle it out. And those are teams like Jamal Murray wasn't playing. Draymond Green has that lineup. And yet those are still competitive teams. Those teams still know what to do and how to find a way to win games. The Suns haven't been healthy yet, so that's still a giant question mark. Bradley Beal made his debut, but Devin Booker wasn't in the lineup. So we don't exactly know what they're going to look like. And you run down the list, and we can make a case of why so many teams in the Western Conference are that much better this season. And I think the Lakers will be in that same spot. They'll be good. They'll be a playoff team, win a round or two, but I don't see another title coming there.
Somewhere from 5 to 9 in the West?
Yeah.
And look, we watched them come out of the play-in tournament last year and get to the conference final. We watched Miami come out of the play-in tournament and get to the NBA finals. Right? I mean, you just got to get in the tournament. The NBA is the classic. Just get in. Right? Just get in and get hot. But I just feel like I'm watching, and I don't feel like I'm watching Willie Mays with the Mets or Joe Namath with the Rams or something like that. That's not what I'm saying. I feel like I'm watching a guy who is still really, really good, one of the best we've ever seen. And he's with one of the premier franchises in American sports. I don't think that's saying too much with the Lakers. And they're a story simply because they're him and the Lakers, but they're not. I like, if you ask me, and you guys are way more NBA, so you tell me, what are you more interested these days? Are you more interested in watching the Nuggets or watching that show? Are you more interested in watching how the Warriors are going to come together? Are you more interested in watching, I want to see what Devin Booker and Bradley Beal and Kevin Durant do. I want to see what Philadelphia does. Damn, what happened with Giannis yesterday. The Celtics are terrific. There's so many more stories that I'm interested in, and I grew up a Laker fan. Am I just, and I'm not going to pretend. I mean, I've never been a LeBron guy, but is my bias clouding that?
A little bit. It is. Okay. The Lakers healthy is still a worthwhile watch, but we know who they are. And so I think what your point is not an interesting story. They are, if you're healthy, we expect you to be at a certain level. These other teams we're learning a lot about. We don't know what Phoenix is going to be. This working Chris Paul into that Warriors rotation, seeing how that works the rest of the season. Like, there's more interesting storylines because we know this storyline. We've seen the Lakers win a championship. We know what their ceiling is.
Yeah. What about you?
I'm kind of with you. I think there are so many interesting stories going on right now that, for me, the Lakers are probably. I mean, honestly, I'm not even thinking about them. There's just so much. These new teams, these new setups, the Suns, especially Milwaukee. There's some teams that I'm far more interested in than the Lakers right now.
My brother calls me to moan about the Lakers, and I don't even know enough to talk about it.
You're not breaking down Christian Wood.
No, I'm not. No. I don't know that I've watched 5 minutes of Lakers basketball. They've played 8 games. Yeah, I've watched more New Mexico State basketball, I think, than I have the Lakers. I watched, a bunch of minutes the other day with you, actually. I don't know. I'll get there maybe. And this is kind of my cycle anyway on the NBA. It is. I'm in bowl season. I'm super focused on college football. I like the college basketball. The NFL's big. I'll get there maybe. So it just might be the way I am. When I think of the NBA stories and I watch it every day, the stories, I'm not watching the games every day. But I'm way more interested in seeing James Harden go back to Brooklyn, see what happens there, and watch him throw the ball at Iron Eagle. That's more. All right, when we come back, everything you've got to know as you go through your Thursday. It's a big sports day. Wrap up the headlines, the key points, and any other correspondence we've missed on the opening drive. On 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night, Monday night, and Thursday night football.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Sweet Rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop.
I am Michael Azera, midfielder for New Mexico United. Clark's support for the United is an example of their commitment to local partnerships. Clark's understands that paying it forward develops a better team and ultimately better community partner.
When you need pet food and supplies,
Clark's is always the best shot.
Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations.
Go United!
ClarksPets.com.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a #1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Rosendo Najar here, president of Carpenters Local 1319. Juan Junior Gonzalez, warden of Local 1319. Some people have a misconception about what a carpenter does. The carpentry trade entails more than just woodworking or building houses. We are responsible for 85% of a construction job site. Everything from the superintendent on down. We have a great apprenticeship program. The information can be found on our website.
Yeah, this is great.
That was awesome. Then you were still bouncing around. Lobo Hobo says, JJ SoCal Grub. Jeff, what I want to know is, what does the expense account for the Women's Voice look like? It's got to be pretty nice, right? I mean, I can't answer that.
Champagne and caviar.
Yeah.
That's what we do on the
there's
road.
good spots there, by the way. There's good spots there for that. Lobo Hobo's not watching the game tonight, JJ. Jeff, I'm already paying big dollars for this package and that package to be able to watch the games. I'm not shelling out again for ESPN Plus for one game and trying to find an establishment. Oh, here's your hater. This would be it. And trying to find an establishment that's carrying the contest on Thursday night when NFL's on. It's going to be a challenge. Lobo Hobo. All right. I mean, JJ, what are you not doing today?
We all have budgets in life.
Yeah, I know.
It's understandable.
Yeah. What are you not doing today? Because Lobo Hobo's not watching Lobo Game Night. What are you not doing today, DC?
Need to get the Disney Plus bundle.
Or you don't. I mean, he's not doing it for one guy. Look, I'm not telling you. That's cool. You know, somewhere, along the line, it became everybody's right to watch every game. Right? Every game should be on TV. Like back in the day, back in the day when Channel 13 was doing the games, would this have been a game where they'd have sent a production team to St. Mary's to do the game? The rights belong to the home team. So it would have been a West Coast Conference rights game. Was it better back in the day? Look, it's available if you, A, want it, B, can afford it, and C, desire to go through the process. Every game is available to see at some point.
You know, I will say I have my ESPN Plus through Verizon, so I'm paying it through my cell phone. There's a lot of ways that you might actually already have it and not realize it.
There's a lot of content. I got a text earlier. Somebody said I don't do it. It was all MMA stuff, and I don't do MMA. JJ, if you watch United, all the United matches are on ESPN Plus, right? There's a lot of baseball, a lot of hockey. There's a lot of college football. The Aggies this weekend are on ESPN Plus, if I'm not mistaken, against Western Kentucky. Last weekend, they were on ESPN Plus against Middle Tennessee. There's a lot of content on ESPN Plus. Now, I will preface that or post-face that. I do work for ESPN, and so I'm not trying to sell the product. So I do work for ESPN. I don't get any of the money. But I enjoy the ESPN Plus product. You can the on-demand stuff that you can watch, the series that you can watch. I mean, you have it too. Do you utilize it a lot?
Oh, quite a bit, because that is really one of the best ways I can watch Avalanche and Nuggets.
And they're right, all the hockey, all the basketball that's on there, right? You use it a lot too, don't you, JJ?
Yeah, that's how I watch Pepperdine and UC Irvine to prepare for tonight's game.
So, I mean, but if it's not something you want to do or can do, I totally understand it, man. I mean, I'm not mad at anybody. It's available, and griping about how it used to be back in the 90s and Mike Powers going out and doing the games, it's not help. I mean, you can yearn for those days. We're just not going there. Every game is available. Every game is available live. A lot of those games were available on delay. If you, A, have the means, and B, have the desire, you can find, I think, every single game. So it's just, they're in different places. They're not all in the same place like it is on and they're all there on News Radio KKOB. All right, what are people going to be talking about as you go through your day? It's a little basketball game day. Men will be in Moraga. They take on 23rd ranked St. Mary's over on News Radio KKOB tonight. Ladies are in Malibu. They'll play Pepperdine. JJ will have the call here on the Sports Animal. Also, you get Monday Night Football. Nope, you get Thursday Night Football because it's not Monday. You get Thursday Night Football tonight. The 1-7 Carolina Panthers, the 2-7 Chicago Bears. Tyson Bagent for the Bears and Bryce Young for the Carolina Panthers. That's what people are going to be talking about. You may get something coming down on Michigan's sign-stealing mess from the Big Ten today, and Giannis Antetokounmpo got thrown out of a game yesterday. Marty, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Marty. Right, let me hit it again. Man, I don't have a problem with the buttons. Go ahead, Marty.
Somebody was actually complaining about ESPN Plus?
Yeah, that they couldn't find it, or they didn't want to pay for it, or they're not, whatever.
What a joke.
That's
all I got.
Okay. Thank you. I don't understand the joke. What was the joke? Did you miss the punchline? JJ, what was the joke?
Maybe the joke's on us.
I don't. What was the joke?
I think I missed something.
I hate when everybody gets to laugh and I don't get it. All right. Thank you, Marty, for the phone call, I guess. All right, we sit here tomorrow, JJ, and I'm talking about Lobos and St. Mary's. What am I saying?
What is the headline going to be tomorrow? I like the Lobos in this game. I don't know. I think the backcourt, because the way that St. Mary's wants to play you, they want you to ISO. They want you to take tough shots. Well, you got two dudes that can do that, in Jamal Mashburn Jr. and Jalen House. And I think you're going to see a solid game from Donovan Dent. I don't think the Lobos are getting run out the built in this game, and I think they're going to have a chance to win it in the end.
You know what the spread is?
Yes.
You know what the spread is? St. Mary's by 6.5. I like that juicy number. Love the Lobos in 6.5. All right, have a great call tonight, JJ. We will not hear from JJ tomorrow. He's traveling tomorrow. But it's good to see you, and have a great call out there. He'll be on the air tonight. Thank you to Jerry Palm and Trace Bruckler, who were with us today. Jim Rome Show is next. The Herd with Colin Cowards after that. 2 Men On come your way at 4. Then we get Lobo women's basketball tonight. Is Monday or Thursday Night Football in the middle of that, or?
It appears that it's all basketball tonight.
All right, all basketball. Great work today. I know you had some run back there. Adrian, great show. It looks great on there. JJ, big day for you. Enjoy Cali.
Huge day.
Enjoy it. Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We'll speak with you tomorrow morning.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
It's a fake. They have a man. It's a conversion. On the fake, it's complete out wide to the big tight end, David Butler. And it's a Rams first down.
That's tough.
I'll say he stepped out of bounds at the 15. Right back to it, and he is in. Touchdown for Charles Lopez Burton.
Us has some time. Josiah Mitchell, it's intercepted! Touchdown! It'll go the distance, and Jared Neechin.
Bunch formation to the left. Cabrera, the handoff. Cabrera's got some room. Up the middle of the 45, 40. Foot race to the end zone. Cabrera trying to outrace the Matador secondary. Yes, drug down, touchdown, I believe. That'll be a 70-yard touchdown run, and it is. Cabrera of...
Right alongside. Expect to be a low-scoring game. Garcia has a lot of speed. Garcia is gone! Nobody gonna catch him! Touchdown, Vikings! Daniel Garcia with breakaway speed.
Yeah. Get the same sort of magic. This time he looks to his right first, then he's looking to his left. He's going to bomb this out there for Moorhead again! Jahari Moorhead! My goodness!
Kyle Evan Huss back to work on the option. He'll flip it out. Big time hole there. See you later. One play and to the house for Malachi Gutierrez.